This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, hello all. Good afternoon. Welcome to the next session on SAP UI5 and FIORI. And in the last class, we have discussed about how to utilize, what is the bootstrap, how we can load the SAP UI5 resources into your project, and how you can build your button by using SAP UI5 and FIORI. And so we have seen what exactly the SAP UI5. So it is used to design responsive business web applications. It is in a framework, and framework means it is in a collection of libraries. We have JavaScript and jQuery libraries, which has built by SAP that we are going to use. And library is in a collection of functions and methods, and uh, not only functions or methods, we have events, we have properties. Okay, so same guys, object-oriented concept SAP UI5 follows. SAP UI5 builds based on the object-oriented concept. And how you can load your SAP UI5 libraries is by using CDN, Content Delivery Network. So there is a company called Akamai, and this Akamai provides data centers for SAP across the globe. And we have Bootstrap. So to load SAP UI5 resources from CDN, we use a Bootstrap concept. And what exactly the bootstrap and what is the code which we are going to return? So we are going to write id SAP UI bootstrap and src and https UI5 SAP UI5.hana.ondemand.com resources and SAP UI core JS. And we have the maybe I think it's in a data and SAP. So we can load the library. So SAP MDAT is the library. With that, we can build our UI5 and FIORI applications. Not only this library, guys, we have a lot of libraries which we have. So that we are going to see in minutes. So what exactly the libraries? What are the libraries which are available? And there are themes also available. SAP Blue Crystal, another one is the Belize. And so we have an SAP. So where do you see all the documentation about the SAP UI5? So it's an SAP UI5 SDK. SDK stands for Software Development Toolkit. And you can go to the SAP UI5.hana.ondemand.com. There you can see the SAP UI5 SDK. And how exactly the SAP UI5 will work. So we have two components in SAP UI5. One is the design time component. The other one is the runtime component. So in the design time component and where we can design the UI5 applications. And if you want to design UI5 applications, there are, so SAP UI5 is built upon HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, LESS, and data.js. And we have two types of libraries. One is the core library, and this is the main libraries. And we have a control library. Control means UI control, like input and output and buttons, radio buttons and checkboxes, drop downs, table control, smart table, everything comes under the control libraries. And also we have an SAP UI core library. And as part of the core libraries, we have SAP um, core libraries and also renderer. In the runtime components, we have proxy component. This is used to connect the servers, and with uh, the proxy, we can connect with the servers and with a renderer will convert your SAP UI5 code into the equivalent HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code. Okay, so it will take the your libraries and it will convert your library code into your equivalent HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Why? Because browsers will understand only the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Browsers doesn't understand the SAP UI5 code. So for the reason, so SAP will convert all your code via the renderer. Renderer will convert your SAP UI5 code into the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery. And so SAP any UI technology which follows an MVC architecture What exactly the MVC? So M means model. Model is nothing but your data, and we view. With a view, we can design the input and output, checkbox, reader button, push button, table controls, and controller will have a logic. So logic means here we are going to write in a JavaScript logic in the controller level. And so there are different types of views which we have: JavaScript view, XML view, and JSON view, and HTML views. We use the XML views to build the SAP UI5 applications. And the types of models, we have two types of models. One is the browser side models. Directly in the browser itself, we can store the data by using JSON, XML, and resource model. And server side data model, which is an OData model. So OData, we deep dived into the OData services. So we are going to use OData service. We are going to fetch the data from SAP. And so how you can create an object in JavaScript? So to create a JavaScript object, we use var and uh, var new and library name. Library name is here sap.m, and control name. Let's take an example. If it is in a button control. If it is a input control. If it is in a label control, like that we are going to see. And inside the parenthesis we are going to use sid and properties. The properties which we are going to do inside property and value, guys. So this is the UI5 creation of an object. This is very important. This syntax we are going to use heavily in the UI5. And so this is the example. Yesterday we have used the O button and SAP M dot button. And so here I put an ID and properties. What is the text of your button? And whenever you click on a method, a function, a event should be executed. What is so guys, I have used SAP.m button. How do I know there is a library SAP.m button? How do you know there is a property text? How do I know there is an event called press? So if you want to know about this, and so here, what exactly SAP UI5, how exactly SAP UI5 built, that we are going to see in today's class. So first we are going to see, guys, object orientation in SAP UI5. That's very important. SAP UI5 built based on the object orientation, guys. Very important. If you understand the object orientation, then only you can understand the SAP UI5 and FIORI. Otherwise, it's not at all possible. The total concept which they have used in the object orientation by using SAP UI5. And guys, so can anybody tell what is the powerful concept in object orientation? Can anybody tell what is the powerful concept in object orientation? What is the powerful? Okay, what is the object orientation? What all the concept it will cover? What is the object orientation?
Polymorphism, inheritance.
Uh, mm, the,
Inheritance, sir.
I explained many times. Object orientation ensures reusability, readability, maintainability, integrity, security. Guys, where are you? So some of the people answered, but here also, guys, SAP UI5 has utilized the concept of inheritance. Very important. Total this object orientation. So you know, right, what exactly the inheritance? Let's say we have a parent class or super class, or what you can call, guys, parent class or super class, or I can say mother class. Okay, there is a super class, and you can inherit the super class into your subclasses, right? So there are some child classes. We can have child classes. What exactly the inheritance? So if you create a child class, what you can do? So any class, it contains, let's take an example. Here I can say I have attribute. See, class will have, what are the components of a class? Class will have methods, attributes, and events, right? So let's take here attribute. What is the attribute? It's a property of a class, property of an object. So I can say here we call it a property, guys. In JavaScript we call property. In ABAP we call it an attribute. Both are same. The concept is same. Property is nothing but here attribute. And we have property 1, we have property 2, we have property 3. Okay, in the parent class level, and control C and control V, and we have the method 1, and we have method 2, we have method 3. So when I inherit the parent class into child class, so what it will do, it will inherit the property 1, property 2, and property 3. Apart from that, I can have my own extra P4 and P5, property 5 and property 6. The same way, I can have method 1 and method 2 and method 3, and also I can have method 4 and method 5. Not exactly 5 guys, so I can have additional methods and additional properties in my child class, right? So this exactly the reusability. No need to define P1, P2, P3 in child class. No need to define M1, M2, M3 in the child class. I can reuse the parent class object into the child class, guys. Very, very powerful concept. The inheritance. Okay, SAP has, okay, did a lot of inheritance in the SAP UI5. So here I am going to talk about some of the controls. Let's take an example. So I will go to the SDK, see SAP UI5 SDK, and you can see. So maybe I will go to the button, see, double click on the button and see guys. So whenever you click on a button, see, so here it's in a class components. Let's take an example. And so we have in a class components. See, here you can see. Okay, see control here is it's in a class, guys. So control sample, it's in a class sap.m.button. So it is having constructor, see, same class also will have in a constructor, and properties is nothing but attributes, and also we have aggregations and association relationship with this class, and also we have events and we have methods. See, so here we have in a class sap.m.button, and this is the control. To design a button, we use a control name sap.m.button. And if you see in our project, and maybe I go to here, we have used the uh, see, we have used in a class sap.m.button, right? So this is the class. This I have instantiated. I created the object with the var statement. And whenever you instantiate, we will provide an ID, we will provide a property. See, so here there are two properties. One is the text, another one is the press. So where do you see this text and press? And maybe I can go to the properties. See guys, there are attributes. Properties is nothing but attributes. So you can put active icon, and you can put an enabled. Okay, this button is enabled or disabled. Okay, we can do enable and disable of this button as well, guys. And also icon. So icon is also a one of the property, guys. You can set an icon to the push button, right? In ABAP also we can set the icons. Where you can set the icons in ABAP? How do you set the icons? So whenever there is a module pull program, guys, you have an icon option, F4, and you can put an icons in the module pull. Double click on the field, it will display a pop-up. In the pop-up, you can set an icons, right? Here also you can set an icons to your property, your button, and also guys, you can see there is a text. So what is the text property? So determines the text of the button. So what is the text of the button? And that also it will give. So we can use different properties for a button and type what type of button it is and width of the button. So these are all some of the properties. And whenever you click on a property button, it should raise an event. So I will go to the event. So you can see guys, there is an event called press. So by seeing this, I have implemented this code guys. See, I used in a text property, click here and press. The press is an event. For event, see in ALV object orientation we have used. So we use the set handler events, and whenever that event is raised, we define a local class. We handle a set handler methods by using local class. Whenever you double click on something, here also same thing. Press is an event, and here the function is a method, guys. The function is a method, set handler method. So using this set handler method, I will write in a pop-up. Welcome to SAP UI5 and FIORI world. And we are going to see, guys. I used one more method. The O button here is nothing but sap.m.button. But I have used a playset method. So where exactly this playset method has been used? So maybe I go to the methods of the class. See, I go to the methods. In these methods, I go with C, C, P, A, B, C, D, F, G, H. See guys, there is no method playset. So in this class, there is no method of playset. But how did I get that playset method? How I have utilized that playset method? Where is that method is coming from? Where is that method is coming from? Where is that method is coming from? Exactly, guys. So here the concept of the inheritance, guys. See, so here I have a subclass. So let's take an example. This is my subclass here. SAP dot m dot button. Maybe I can check what is the parent class of this button. So maybe if you go here, there is an extends. See, guys. So here you can see in object orientation here. Uh, in the JavaScript inheritance, the equivalent keyword here is an extend, guys. So this is the keyword. This is the keyword extends. So this class is inherited. This class is inherited from this class, guys. sap.ui.core control. sap.ui.core control. This is my parent class. This is my parent class, and this is my child class. So maybe I will go to the sap.ui.core control. I will check the method, whether the playset method is available or not. Okay, maybe click on the extend SAP UI core control and go to the methods, and you can see hello text, clone, ABC. Yeah, you can see there is a method called playset method. See, this is the method. So which we have used. This is the method, playset method. What exactly this method? And it puts the control into the specified container. Oh, okay. Whatever the container we have, we use an HTML containers. So in the HTML container, we have a property called ID. With the ID, I can place wherever I want my code, my input controls into the your web area. So I will use a playset method. I use an ID. With that ID, I can place my button or label or anything, guys. So if you see here, I used a playset and I used an ID display. So I have used that ID display. So you can see ID display in the div tag. I put an ID inside the div. It is going to place the button under this div tag, guys. So this is exactly the object orientation. And maybe you can see. So even this class also inherited. So maybe if you go here, see this class also inherited from SAP UI core element class, guys. And if you see even SAP UI core control, I have explained this. UI core library. And so this is a control library. And if you see, this is also inherited. See, this is also inherited from here. And so this is the inheritance. Maybe if I go again, it's like core element. And like this, we have, so this is extended from SAP UI base managed object, guys. See, so this is the class core element, which is inherited from SAP UI base managed object. And also if you click on this class also, see guys, multiple inheritance. There is a lot of places. See, event provider. So there are a lot of classes, UI base. Okay, UI base object like this case. There are a lot of classes which it is inherited. Maybe if you see exactly the flow, and you can see maybe I have somewhere here. Uh, this is my sap.yum.button, and this is inherited from SAP, no caps, sap.ui.core.control. And also this is inherited from, I think it's element. So maybe back. See, UI core control. This is from SAP UI core element. This is from SAP UI core element. And also this is inherited from. So I have a lot of inheritance. Maybe I just have given example. Okay, this is core element is inherited from the base object, it seems. Yeah, managed object. SAP UI base managed object. SAP UI base managed object. So there is a lot of inheritance which is there, and you can access any of the properties of the parent classes into the sap.m button. Not only m button, we have different control buttons we have. Okay, this is also control V, and we have sap.m dot label. This is also one of the button, one of the control class, and we have control C. We have like this lot of things, guys. We have sap.m dot radio button, radio button. So if you want to design radio button, we use the sap.m radio radio button. And if you want to use if you want to design a screen, sap dot control C control V. We can use sap.m dot label and checkbox. So like this, we have different classes which are inherited from the SAP UI core control. And if you go and see, so here you can see the control. Maybe I can go to the button, maybe go to the button button button. This is very, very important, guys. If you understand this, then that's it. You can build the UI5 and SAP UI5. And also, guys, so here you can see the class name, right? And also, what is this? Here you can see the class name. Why very thickness is more? I don't want this much thickness here. How can I set the thickness? Menu, settings, screenshot, hotkeys, cursor, toggle eraser, disable stroke size. color thickness, take screenshot, whiteboard, and pen size. Okay, that's it. Okay, Control Shift 1. So you can see, yeah, pen. So you can see this is the class. Yeah, this is good, guys. This is the class, and this class is inherited from this class. And guys, you know the interface concept, right? So exactly, this is the interface case. So this class is inherited from this interface as well. From this interface as well. And also, guys, you can see even there are some, see, SAP M dot button is in a parent class, and there are more classes which are inherited. View subclasses, guys. Subclasses means, so SAP M dot button is in a parent class, and there are subclasses to this class as well. So view subclasses. Control Shift and go to the view subclasses. See, guys, M dot overflow toolbar button, toggle button, UI commons, process flow, food bar. Okay, there are a lot of buttons which are inherited also from this class, guys. Okay, so total SAP UI5, so depends on the object oriented concept, guys. Total SAP UI5 depends on the object oriented concept. SAP UI5. So total object orientation, you can see, and so total entire this section. Purely you can see this is in a class, and you can see view subclasses. There are some child classes to the button, M button, and there is a parent class. This class also inherited from another super class. And also, guys, there is one more thing, module. And whenever we use in a controller concept, instead of class, we refer the module name, guys. Remember, instead of dot, we use in a slash in the controllers. Whenever we use in a, when you want to refer this class in the control, we are going to use the module, guys. We are going to use in a module. We'll see, maybe we are going to write some code with the sap.m button again today. And also we have other controls also, input controls also. We see the input control. Maybe what I can see, I can go to the input. I forgot one of the most important uh, control, which is an input control. How you can design the inputs, guys. Okay, see, there is an input, and click on the input, and you can see sap.m.input, guys. This is the one more class also. This also we are going to use heavily, guys. So this is one more class. This is the button and M button and label and checkbox, radio button, and we can use the one more button which is an input controls. We can use the sap.m.input, and this is my sap.m.input. So in this we have properties. Maybe even this also, uh, this is inherited from the input base. And if you go to the properties, and here you can see, okay, if the input field is in a date, we use in a date format. So we'll use a date format. What is the date format of the field? And also, what is the description of the, suppose if you have currency and quantities, let's say 100 rupees INR. So the INR, see, units of measurement and currencies, we use in a description field for your amount fields. Let's take an example. And what is the field width? And what is the maximum length of that field? And what is the show suggestions? That means F4 help, and show value help, F4 help. And we can use text format mode. What is the format of the text? And the type of that field? What is the type of that field? Whether it is in a text, whether it is in a number, whether it is in an email, whether it is in a phone number, what kind of input field it is, that we are going to show, that we are going to see in type of the field. And what kind of type it is. that we are going to use here, value helps. And also I will go to the events. Suppose let's take an example event. Okay, whenever you do a submit or live change, suppose I entered some value. If you want to get the value, that we are going to use an event, a live change event. And whenever you press F4, value help request, a event will be raised. Even above also we have the event, right? At selection screen on value request. Here also we have a value help request. And like this, we are going to have a lot of controls which we need to see. Maybe today we design the input fields. Yesterday we have seen the submit buttons. Today we'll see the input fields case. Okay, so let's go and implement our SAP UI5 and FIORI. And also guys, so if you want to see the icons, maybe there are a lot of icons, right? So you need to go to the tools. And how do you use the icons? Icons in the SAP UI5 and FIORI. Icons. So refer icons in below link. Okay, you need to go to the maybe if you want to refer icons and go to SDK and go to tools and click on icon explorer. Okay, so go to the tools. In the tools we have different kind of tools, and maybe I have an see here you can see there is an icon explorer. Icon explorer. So this is the icon explorer, guys. This you need to click on it. Okay, icon explorer we have. Click on the icon explorer. Just give me 1 minute, guys. I will come back.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, I got some important calls, so I switched out. So this is the icon explorer. Let's take an example. If you want to get an icon for add, let's take an example. So click on, sorry. So first you need to click on the, see, you can see the icons for ABAP system. You can see the icons for actor, person symbol. Suppose let's take an example. If you want to get icon for create button. Okay, sorry. There should be a create button, or else you can say add button. And you can see there is a symbol for the add. And maybe you can double click on this. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So are you able to see the icons?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see the icon. This is the icon. Okay, this is for the add icon. Let's take an example. So if you double click it, and here you can see the marker. So add icon. So you can see the icon name also. Here you can see the icon name. Okay, let's take an example. If you want to have insert, maybe insert, there is no icon. Maybe edit. Suppose if you want to see the edit, sorry guys. So the icons are wrong. Maybe you can go to the SAP icons. So here you can get, so add, see this is an add button. If you can see, this is an icon for the add. So this is the icon for the add. Okay, let's take an example. If you want to get an icon for the insert, INSERT, insert is not there. Edit, see you can see the edit button. See, there is a button for the edit, and maybe you can see for the activate, spelling mistake, activate. See, there is a button, activate icon. Okay, like this, we have a lot of buttons, guys. Maybe so like this, whatever you want, you can find out the icons in the icon explorer. And the naming convention, let's take accept. So double click on the accept. So the naming convention, guys. So icons, SAP hyphen icon colon slash slash accept. This is the icon name which we need to use it. So the naming convention to use icons. So naming conventions which we need to use. So SAP, see, this is the naming convention which we are going to follow. So SAP hyphen icon colon slash slash accept. If it is an accept, accept. If it is an add, let's take an example. There is one more icon, add. Just now we have seen add icon. So ADD. So this is the add icon, guys. So the naming convention always follows SAP hyphen icon colon slash slash the icon name which we are going to follow. So let's go to the web ID. So go to the SAP web IDE and build a new UI applications with input controls and icons and all. And go to the SAP Neo Cloud Platform. edzytech@gmail.com and go to the logon. Click on trial. Go to the access to Neo trial and go to services and search for SAP web ID. And you see the SAP web ID and launch the SAP web ID. And so yesterday we have created this project, right? So today I'm going to create a new project for the input controls. Okay, folder EDZ9 input controls UI5. Okay. This is my folder. Oh, sorry. I created, guys, sorry, I selected this folder. I created one more folder. It creates a subfolder. I don't want a subfolder. Delete it, edit, and delete. So I need to select a workspace, guys, and go to the workspace and create new folder and EDZ 9 input controls UI5. So where is the input control? Yeah, this is the input control, and select the folder and create a new file, and which is an index.html, and okay. And you know, guys, right, first what you need to do, use doc type. So I am writing again and again to make you remember, because so this is the what we need to do. And HTML we can do copy paste, but I don't do the copy paste. And do the H header and and body. Okay, so in the header level, you need to load the UI5 resources and script and script and script. In the script, in the tag, inside the tag itself, you need to provide ID, which is equal to SAP-UI underscore boot strap, and the next source. So where you load the UI5 libraries, that is the source, https://sap UI5 hana on demand guys, spelling is very important. A resource, if you put resource, it doesn't work. Resources and SAP hyphen UI hyphen core dot JavaScript file. So this is what which you need to do. Then data hyphen SAP hyphen UI hyphen libs. What library you need to load? I have an SAP.m library and data hyphen SAP hyphen UI hyphen theme. Which theme do you want to put? I want SAP underscore Belize. We have blue crystal as well. Okay, this is the loading bootstrapping of UI5 guys. I did a bootstrap, and now in the body I am going to put ID, not ID, which is in a class which is equal to SAP UI body. So save your project and test your project. Right click, run, and run as a web application. You can see a UI5 body with Belize theme. This is loaded guys. This is loaded. If you want to see, right click and inspect element or F12, and you can see the elements. See header element and body element. See body SAP UI5 body guys, and also it has loaded the your it has converted your renderer. SAP runtime component renderer is converted your UI code into the HTML and CSS code. So that is exactly which is happening. And maybe I can go to the project web IDE, and I am going to uh, write in a code. So maybe if you want to write in a code, what I am going to write is script. Okay, so this is the JavaScript code. Inside the script and end script tag we are going to use for the JavaScript. Inside, I'm going to create a var, which is equal to, I'm going to create a new, I need an input elements. If you want to provide an input elements, so which library you will use it? Which library you will use it? So I don't use button. I am going to use input button. First I am going to use it, or else I can use the sap.m.labels first, then input. Okay, so first I'm going to take sap.ui.label, and so after this you have to open the parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis you need to put an ID label and comma, and inside this you have to open a curly brace. Inside the curly brace you need to put, see, I have an sap.ui.label. Okay, so maybe I will go to the this uh, here API reference, and instead of label, instead of input I can use label. So you can see, where is the label? Sorry, spelling mistake, LEBEL. See, SAP M library, there is a label. In the label, you see the properties, and my properties are, see, there is a property text, guys. There is a property text. What is the text of your label? So I am going to use the property. So go to the as web IDE, use a text is the property, and label the text. What is the label? So maybe like let's take we will do arithmetic operations. Okay, so this is number 1. This is my first input, first uh, first label for my input field. Okay, so I have a text. Okay, we will do the label. That's it. Okay, so now this is done. Whenever you end, you have to end with the semicolon. So now I have an object. Okay, var. What is the object, guys? O-L-A-B-E-L. You need to give the object name, guys. So like GO underscore ALV for the ALV object. Here also you need to give the object name. So now I have a div tag, first div tag. So inside in a div tag, I'm going to use one more tag, guys, span tag. Okay. So what is div tag and what is span tag, guys? Maybe I forgot to explain div tag and span tag. So maybe in HTML we discussed, I told right that time, what is the important, that only we are going to discuss. So that time I told some tags, sorry. In HTML, we discussed about float CSS. See guys, here I told div tag, right? So we have a div tag. So suppose we can use this for the new line. Suppose if you want to get everything new line, we will use a div tag. There is one more tag called span tag in HTML. So maybe I can say print elements in same line. We use a span tag. Div tag is print elements in the new line. So let's take, so if it is an input field, I need to print the label as well as input field in a single line. So that's why I will use span tag, span and ID. And ID is, maybe I can say it's an ID label 1. So here I used label, so sorry, ID label. So this is my ID label 1, guys. Maybe ID label PRT, print 1. ID, see guys, L caps and P caps. ID label print. And this is my ID for the span tag. Okay. So I am going to place my label. This is my label object. The text is number. I'm going to place this object, this label control on the HTML. If you want to place this, what the method we are going to use it? So maybe O-L-A-B-E-L. This is my object. And in this object, I have a method called place at method. That place, I'm going to place this label in the ID label 1. Sorry, ID label. What is the span tag? ID label PRT1. So in the span tag, I am going to put this. I'm going to ID label PRT1. So that's the thing, guys. Save it. So maybe you are thinking, so O label and O label, but if you see in the O label and methods, go to the methods, there is no place at method, right? So how did you get this method? So this is the method which is coming from the SAP UI core control. This is the parent class. This parent class has a playset method. Already I have explained this. So this is very, very important, guys. If you understand the SAP UI5 SDK, then only you can do the SAP UI5 coding. The playset method. This is a method which is there at the SAP UI label, and SAP UI label is inherited from the parent class sap.ui.core control class, guys. So that's first I'm going to print label. We'll see whether the label is printed in our UI5 screen or not, guys. So maybe where is that, guys? Maybe I can close Icon Explorer. Okay, maybe I will go to the here and you can see and refresh, and maybe console. So there is an error, guys. See, I go to the console. So always, guys, how do you know? So I didn't see anything on the web page. If you don't see anything, press F12. So here the console debugger console is very, very important. Here you can see SAP UI label is not a constructor. SAP UI label is not a constructor. So go to here, O label SAP UI new SAP U dot UI dot not UI, guys. It's an M. Sorry, SAP dot M dot label, guys. That's the library which we need to use. Sorry. So we have to use SAP dot M dot label. So the library mistake. See, I put an a wrong uh, class. So go to the label again, and you can see m dot, sorry, not here, m, because we loaded the SAP m library. We need to use m library classes, guys. If you use another classes, it doesn't work. In the bootstrap, we loaded the SAP m library, and go to the SAP m, and you can see SAP dot m dot label. So that's the problem. And you can see over here, and now maybe I did save SAP m dot label, and now you can refresh the web page and see, guys. Yeah, so yeah, maybe the even the label is not displaying. So maybe again do the inspect element and go to the console, and you can see DOM element with a ID label PRT1 not found in page, but application tries to insert the content. So I'm doing some mistake, guys.
Sir, screen has been stopped.
Spelling mistake.
ID label PRT1. Okay, spelling mistake, exactly. Label PRT, maybe I can take this, Control C, and maybe I can put over here. Exactly, it is not finding the element with the ID label PRT1 because it's a spelling mistake. Now I
Sir,
can, yeah,
Sir,
yeah,
screen
wait,
has been stopped, sir.
reload typing, sir.
okay. So, okay, I will restart, maybe, yeah. So now I am going to share the screen. Now, can you see? Yeah, so now you can see there is a number, guys. So number, the label is printed, the number is printed, guys. See, so maybe it's not as per the maybe it's not based on the requirement. Maybe we'll see. So is there any property which is having different kind of other properties? And go to the properties and design, set the design of the label by either standard or bold. Okay, and required, is it SAP text? I put text, alignment width of the label, and wrapping type, maybe width of the label code.css, and example you can put the width. How can I set? Maybe that's not a problem, guys. So we'll see the input, then later we do the alignments. Okay, because this is the one way we can do. Maybe I can use one more span tag. So my next span tag is span ID, and which is equal to, it's an ID input P. This time I use PRT1. Okay, so this is my another tag, another span tag. So which is an input field, ID input PRT1. and this is an input. This is an input element. If it is an input element, which library we will use, guys? If it is an input element, which library we will use? If it is an input element, which library we will use? So if it is an input, we use sap.m.input. So write the code var wo input, and which is equal to, which is equal to, and new sap.m.input, and open the parenthesis, and in the last you put semicolon, and here I am going to use id input. This is my id input. Maybe I should be caps, and put the comma and enter. And inside this we are going to use open the curly brace, and inside the curly brace we are going to write. So what is the input? What is sap.m.input? What is input tag? So go to the input tag, and enter, and go up, and you can see SAP M library and input. Click on the input, and here you can see properties, attribute, and here you can see the input tag, and maybe I can use input. We have called, okay, what kind of type of this field? What is the type of this field? Type. So maybe I can use the type. So my first property is type, and which is equal to the, maybe I can say it's in a number. The type of the field is in a number. Okay. And then I will see any other property which is there, input field, value, help, and all we'll see later, guys, because we need to write a lot of logic JavaScript code. After I introduce the controllers, we will use the value help. So I have given the type of the field, what kind of field it is, whether it is in a text, whether it's in a number, email, or phone. So what kind of type I put as in a number, number. So this is the one input field. So this input field, I am going to place this. So again, so wo input, place at what is the ID for the input? Maybe this is an ID input PRT1. Control C, and place this at input field ID input PRT1, and save. And now come and refresh. No, even the number is also gone. So maybe what I can do, F12 again, we'll do the debugging step by step, and go to the, see guys, unexpected token. Somewhere it is giving an error. Where is the error? So type number, yeah, what is the problem, guys? Guys, it's not a ABAP, it's in a JavaScript. If you want to assign the value, we use a colon, not the equal, guys. So that is the error. So type, so we have to use a colon, which is a number, guys. Come here, and again do the refresh, and see, and what is the, again, yeah, so might be this is the problem, not here, and I think here is the problem, I think. And also one, yeah, here you can see there is no separator here, and maybe I go to here and put an separator over the SQL script. Always it must end with the colon, and maybe this is not required if it is in a single. Yeah, that is not required, guys. It should be in a comma if you have more, but I do not have anything, and save it. And now you can refresh, and again it is giving me, it's not giving me an output. See, no errors or console. Yeah, DOM element with ID input PRT1 not found in the page, but application tries to insert the content. See guys, ID input PRT1. See, ID input PRT1 is not found. ID input PRT1 not found in the page, but application tries to insert the content. So is there any spelling mistake? ID input PRT1. So see, ID input PRT1, ID input PRT1. So there is no ID which is created, guys. So it should be an input
Sir, in the
tag
44th line, we have an angular bracket.
in
44th line.
44. Okay,
Uh,
this is the line.
After PRT1, we have angular bracket inside the double quotes.
Perfect. Exactly. Very good. Yeah, it's very good. So maybe now I can refresh. See guys, your input field is enabled. Number one, and input field, I can enter the value in the screen, guys. See, I can enter the value. Very good. See, this is my span tag, and with the number one input field, this is okay. This is my number one, and input field, I can enter the value inside it, guys. In the same way, I will design a number two. Okay, maybe I go to the here, and same guys, I need a label. I need an input number two. Maybe I can do the copy paste now because you know, right? So Control C and Control V. So this time it's in a label. My object is label 2. Okay. And the text is number 2. And this is also label 2. And input 2 and ID input 2, and which is a number. What is this case? Input, it should be type number. Don't put a number 2. So I have instantiated two objects, one for the label 2, which is a number 2. For the input 2, I have designed an input. Now I need to place, right? Control C and Control V. There is two objects. One is label 2 and input 2, and IDs also I need to design. So maybe I can design 2 and input 2. See, I placed this code. Maybe I'm going to use one more div tag, Control V, and here my print to input to label input to, and save. I have designed a number 2 fields. See guys, we have number 1, we have number 2 input fields, maybe 8 and this is 9. This is 8, this is 9. Maybe now I can put a submit button here. Let's take an example. I will add a button. When I add it, it should do an addition, right? So for this, what I need to have, guys, I need to have a button control. So I'm going to place a button under this case. So how can I put a button? So maybe, so what is the class we use? What is the class we use to create a button? So maybe take this and Control V and var wo button. Yesterday we did button, and it's a SAP m dot button button, and ID button ID button, and the button we have different properties. Yes, so I will go to the SAP SDK, and this is a reference, guys, very important. So you can see button and go to the SAP M library, and there is a button inside the button. So you can see sap.m.button, B caps. Okay, spellings are very important. And go to the properties, and here you can see there is a text of the button. What is the text of the button? So maybe I can put the text, the button text. Sorry. So I will go and put a text of the button, text, which is equal to what you can see, add, maybe addition. Okay, maybe I can put an addition, and so this is my button. Addition is my button. Maybe I can put an icon as well, guys. See, I'm going to use icon as well, addition icon. See, so what is the icon for the addition? So just now I have taken, maybe I will go to the icon explorer. Here you can say add. See, add is the icon, and you can see this name you need to use it, guys. Very, very important. So total name you need to use it. Whenever it is an icon, there is a name, and this is my name of the icon, SAP-icon :// add. Okay, this I am going to use. This I am going to use, guys. So maybe I go to here and I put SAP icon :// add. So this is the icon which I am going to use. Here you need to use comma, and here you need to use comma. And so whenever you click on this button, a event will be raised. The event here is a press event. So go and see the reference. Click on the events. So there is a press event. So press event, we handle the event handler methods. So go to the declare a function. Okay, press function. So use the function and the what is that? Parenthesis, and use the curly brace. So this is the function, and here you need to put and. So inside this function, I write a code, guys. Debugger. So I put in a debugger for the debugging purpose. Okay, and here I am going to do. So whatever the values I entered, see, very, very interesting thing. I entered 8. I entered 9. I need to read the values of whatever the values we have entered on these elements, guys. So guys, in HTML, how did you do? In HTML, how you fetch the values, whatever we have entered? Guys, did you remember in HTML, how did you read the values which are entered, guys? But HTML
Dot
is not
value.
that much. Huh?
Dot
What is
value.
that?
Dot value.
So maybe I will go to the HTML code. There are some HTML code where I put first one input. I don't think I used first one. Go to the first, see, input tag. Yeah, input tag and input email, everything, audio controls and list. I don't think first one. Maybe I go to the arithmetic operation exactly. So in the arithmetic operations, so normally we put, see, number 1. See guys, we used DOM object document, get element by ID, the ID of the input tag. See, the ID of the input tag, ID num1 and num1 and ID num2. We used the document object, document get element by ID and value. This is the code which we have written, right? In the same code we are going to write. See, we are going to write. So var num1 which is equal to document is the object and get element spelling is important. E caps, LEMENT, B caps, ID, I caps, get element by ID. And what is the ID of the number 1? What is the ID of the number 1? See, maybe you can see it here. Not the label. It should be ID input PRT1. This is the ID. It's not label ID and a dot value, right? And same way, I can get Control C and Control V. This is a num2. It's a variable, guys. Here, this is a variable. Num1 and num2 is not an object. It's a variable. and it's a 2 PRT value. Then maybe I can go and now I got a num1, I got a num2 and var num3, which is equal to the num1 plus num2, right? This is my code, guys, and I'm going to display this code in the pop-up. So if you want to display the data in pop-up, what function we will? Alert function. So alert and use the num3. That's it. And Control S and save. Now I can refresh this and refresh this. Gone, guys. Something is going wrong. Maybe go and inspect and go to the console.
Sir, we keep the equal debugger semicolon.
Okay, maybe I will go to the colon. Somewhere the colon is written. Okay, debugger, very good. So debugger, it should be a semicolon, save, and again refresh. So yes, guys, we should familiarize with the code. Maybe what is the problem? So here unexpected token at this moment. I think this is not required at 68th line, which is not required. Okay, and save and refresh. Yes, guys, but my button is not placed, guys. What is the problem? Why my button is not placed? Guys, we created a button, but did you place your button somewhere else? Did I place my button? Did I put my button? No. And after this, open a div tag. Okay, in the div tag, maybe I can give the ID. So ID, which is equal to ID BUT. Okay, ID BUT. I'm going to place this at ID BUT, the button, guys. So O BUTT ON, sorry, spelling mistake, BUTTON, O button, place the button at. So what is the at, which is an ID BUT. That's it. So I'm going to place my button at the div tag and ID button. I'm going to place this at the another div tag and save. And here you can refresh it. And you can see there is a button addition. See, I see the icon, I see the addition, guys. Now, okay, maybe I can, if you want, guys, okay, sorry, 4 and 5 and addition, see guys, which is equal to NaN. Okay, guys, it doesn't trigger me debugger. Why? It doesn't goes to the debugger. Why? It doesn't goes to the my debugger. Why? It doesn't goes to the debugger. Why? It doesn't goes to the debugger. Why? Guys, it's not ABAP. ABAP, if you put debug, whenever you execute it, it will stop there. But always, guys, you need to go to F12, then only it will stop at the debugger, guys. Otherwise, it doesn't trigger the debugger. That is the important. In ABAP, if you see the breakpoint, the ABAP will stop at the code. But in browser, you should open the browser tool, the F12 developer tools, then only it will trigger the debugger, guys. That's the difference between the ABAP and JavaScript. And do the addition. Now you can see the execution stops at the debugger. Now you can see this is stopped at the debugger. And if I want to see, guys, in ABAP, if I can do F6 and all, right? So if you want to see the results, play the breakpoint F8, and you can see, guys, num1 is undefined, num2 is undefined. So there is no value for the num1 and num2. Why it's not returning the num1 and num2 values? I think the problem is whenever we generate in a dynamic elements, we didn't write in a static HTML code, guys. Here, this is in a it's not a static element. The input is not a static, it's in a dynamic. Through the SAP UI5 framework, the renderer will convert your SAP UI input element as an HTML element. So SAP, now you can see what is the exactly the element value. So I go to the elements, inspect element. In the elements, expand body, expand the first div tag, expand the first span ID, second span ID input, and div tag. So inside the input, you can see, guys, the ID is changed. ID of the input tag is changed now. ID input inner, guys. In the dynamically, it creates another ID. So this ID we need to use it, guys. We should not use the ID. Why? Because it's in a dynamic code. SAP creates another dynamic code. So maybe I go to here. So here, instead of this, sorry, number one is the number one ID input. So what is that, guys? I forgot. ID input content class width ID input. Yeah, type is number. Yeah, I need to use ID input inner. Yeah, that's the fine. So maybe I can use here. I need to use ID input inner. In the same way, number two, I can see the number two. So maybe it's in another div tag. This is the div tag number two. See, guys, here it is highlighting. See, whenever you select, it's highlighting the HTML element and expand and expand. Here you can see there is an ID input to inner. So this is the, see, it is highlighting the element is highlighted when I select this. See, it is highlighted. So whenever I select, it will highlight the number two, guys. So here I am going to set that it's an ID input to number, ID input to inner, guys. This is the IDs which it is generating. Save. Now you can do a debugger. So maybe refresh your web page and put an 4, put an F5 and do the addition and go to the debugger and F8. See, guys, now you can see the value 4 and 5. Now, is it in a number or is it in a string? Is it in a number? Is it in a string? Is it in a number or is it? You see the number, but it considers it as a string. Okay. If you are problem, then I can use type of num1. See, guys, string. Type of num1 is a string. So I already explained this. So right. So because okay, now I do the num3, guys. Num1 plus num2. How much, guys? 4 plus 5 equal to. Now here, tell me what is the value.
4, 5.
4, 5. Because it's in a string, it will concatenate 4 and 5, guys. That's in a JavaScript, right? F8. Now you can see the value num3, which is equal to 45. If you want to see the value of num3, go to the console. Num3. See, guys, the value is 45. You can see, you can test everything in the console. Num3 equal to 45. Or so now execute. Here you can execute, resume, and the value is 45. So now what I need to do, guys? We did this thing. How can you convert string into number, integer?
Type
How can you?
number. Type number.
Someone? Num1 equal to parse int num1. So this we used, guys, in the last class. Num2, which is equal to parse integer. Okay, num2. We did in the last class. Okay. Now I will enter maybe 10 and 15 and do the addition, and it stops at the debugger and F8. And so there is some problem. What is this? Parse int is not defined. spelling mistake. P should be small, I think. And maybe I go to the PARS. Yeah, P should be small. See guys, the color is highlighted. If it is in a keyword, it will highlight in the orange or red color. So now I can do a refresh and enter 10 and 15, do an addition and F8. Now you can see num1 is 10 and num2 is 15. 10 plus 15, which is equal to 25, and resume, and you can see the value is 25. So the value is 25, guys. So this is the input tags, guys. So we have used the label and we have used the input buttons. We have used the button. So this is the way we are going to write the UI5 code. But guys, this is not up to the mark. We are not following the MVC architecture. We are not doing an MVC architecture. We are writing everything in index.html, guys. We don't do this normally, which is not a good practice. See, guys, for each and every element, we are doing in a code. We are doing in a code to place, right? But in the maintenance point of view, in the performance point of view, okay, it's not a best way of writing the code. So for this, what we do is tomorrow we will segregate the view code into the XML view, and we write the code in the controller. In the flow logic section, we are going to write the code. All this code we write in the flow logic, that is in a controller concept, and we use a view. We are going to create a view. In that view, we are going to display the data. We don't use like this. We do not write the code by using HTML tags. We are going to use the code by using XML tags. The views are designed. We follow the MVC architecture. So just I have given to improve your coding skills in the by using JavaScript. That's why I have given this example. But normally in the real time, we don't write the code in this manner. So which is a laborious and code maintenance, and also it gives a less performance. So we use an MVC architecture. And what exactly the MVC architecture that we are going to see in tomorrow's class. So we use a model view controller model. So with this, we are going to build our data models and views and controllers. We design the view by using XML view, and data will come later. And we write the logic in the controller. By using controllers, we are going to write the logic, guys. So that's we'll see in the tomorrow's class. And to familiarize with the JavaScript code, I have given this example. So you should know how to write the JavaScript code, debugging, all these fundamentals. To learn the fundamentals, I have given these examples. So tomorrow we'll see using controllers and views, XML views, and we are going to design the SAP UI5 and FIORI, not FIORI, UI5, guys. So first we'll learn how to build the applications by using SAP UI5. Then slowly we'll take you to the FIORI, guys. We don't write any code by using FIORI. We don't write, all this code will be generated automatically, guys. But still, so it's very, very important, the future, guys. So even with the corona, now you see the corona effect. So every industry go with the digitalization in the future. So I see there are a lot of scope, a lot of requirements in the SAP UI5 and FIORI area, because no company doesn't want to run with the manual efforts. Everything will be run in the remotely. So if you want to run anything remotely, simple example. So there is a class, offline classroom training and online training. See, with this corona effect, we are doing an online training. You are sitting at your home with the internet. You are going to listen the class. You are attending the classes. That's the advantage. Even the business side also, we are going to see a lot of digitalization concept in the upcoming future. If you want to be a digitalized developer, the UI developer or full stack developer, this is the platform SAP UI5 and FIORI. So with the SAP UI5 and FIORI, you can sit in your home, you can work, guys. That's I can guarantee in the future. So if you have the right capability, so no one will ask you to come to the office. You can work from home itself, not here in the remote place like my village, okay, which is there in the forest. I can work from my native place. I can do my farmer. I can do the agriculture parallelly. I can work on my projects, guys. That's the power of the digitalization concept. So that's it for the day. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
So I will paste this code in the PPT.
In
You
the
can
case
refer
of
this.
div, why you have used a span?
So the difference is div will print line by line. Span tag will print in a single line. That's the difference.
Okay.
If I use div, it will print in the new line, every element in the new line. If I use span tag, it will print, okay, let's take order value 100, material value iPhone. Like that it is print, guys. That's the span tag. That's the difference between div tag and span tag. So I have given the difference of the both. So if you want to see in my PPT, Control F, Control F, Control F, span. It's, it's hanged, guys. Sorry. See span tag. Print elements in the same line. We use the span tag. Print in a new line. We use a div tag, guys. Okay. So that's the difference between div tag and span tag. It's an important, guys. Very, very important. So a structure. structure. So guys, so maybe Nitin, you have attended some of the UI5 and FIORI class in the Oasis, right? So they will run the class with PPT, guys. But here, pure hands-on, no PPT. So existing PPT. Okay, here I am teaching with the object-oriented concepts and also element by element, line by line code I am writing, and also you are correcting the code, guys. That's the quality we are teaching from the EDZ. So in UI5, no one will teach like ABAP. Okay, they will run the PPT, they will read something, but here it's not the case. We are going to see the theory and practical, like how we did in ABAP. In the same way, I'm doing the UI5 and FIORI course, guys.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, audible.
Yes, you are
Sir,
audible.
now today's function, we had given the addition for 4 and 5 in the string. Again, next
Okay.
you have given 10 and 15, and it function as addition, and output we had get the 25. Some difference had seen, sir. What is that? I mean,
Okay. Yeah. See, before Wasim, what I did is, so before it is giving me 45, which is not a expected behavior. Now I will change to 4 and 5. It will come as a 9. See, that is the problem. See, 9. So it should not be a 45. It is concatenated. Why? Because it's in a string. So I converted the code string into the number. I parsed the value to the integer. Now it becomes a number 1 and number 2. So now the value becomes num1 plus num2, which is equal to 9. Okay, before the code is, so it is taking as a string, it will concatenate. You missed the basics, fundamentals. So JavaScript fundamentals, I have given this. Did you remember, guys? So how exactly the plus will work? Somewhere I did this. Did you remember, guys? Somewhere I put, yeah. So you can see somewhere I did this, guys. I have given this example. Through the fundamentals, I have given this concept. Okay, type of X variable, type only, object variable. I think plus symbol. If you see operator, you can see assignment operator, comparison operator, triple equal to. Somewhere I explained this concept. Whenever we use plus, if it is in a string data type, it will concatenate. If it is in an integer, it will do an arithmetic addition, guys. That's what I have explained. Somewhere I have explained that concept. So maybe in the code I have explained in the C3 plus 4. Somewhere I explained, but so this is here is the problem is, so whenever I declare, so it's coming as a string. Whenever it is in a string, Okay, 4 plus 5, it will concatenate 4 and 5, it becomes a 45. That's why I converted the string into the integer. Now I did the arithmetics plus. So since it is an integer, so it will convert num1 plus num2 equal to 9, guys. That's the difference. Okay. Did you get my point?
Yes.
See,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
now 10, now 50, now the value is 60. See, the value is 60. Why? Because I convert, before it was in a string, I converted the string into the integer. Now it is calculating as an arithmetic operation, guys. Okay. See, guys, see the beauty of the UI and the beauty of the HTML. So maybe I go to the arithmetic here, run this HTML. See the difference, the look and feel of UI and look and feel of raw HTML. See, guys, rigid, no colors, no love, nothing, guys. This is an HTML page. And I see the UI5. See, guys, how beautiful it is. So this is the difference. So SAP has utilized, see the background color, the button, the look and feel is very, very nice compared to the rigid and colorless HTML. And that's the SAP UI5. It gives an a look and feel, and it gives an a performance, and also it follows an a MVC architecture, and it provides an a responsive. See, so according to screen resolution, the screen will be changed, and see, so based on this, but you can see, you can, if you reduce also, it will adjust according to your screen, guys. That's the beauty of the SAP UI5, which is used to build a responsive web applications, which is used to build a responsive web applications, guys. So that's it for the day. Thank you. Uh, I think no more questions. I will paste this code into the PPT, then I will share you the PPT. And thank you all. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. And so that's it for the day. Rakesh is not there. Okay, that's it for the day. Thank you all. Bye bye.